This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and one of the games that kind of stood out to me during this E3 was the Watchdogs Legion gameplay that they showed at Ubisoft's press conference. It's funny because it was one of the few extended bits of gameplay that we got this E3, so it was nice to see that. So I do like Watch Dogs. I haven't played 2. I do own it, but I haven't played it. But I enjoyed Watch Dogs for the concept of what it was. Sure, there were some issues, but it seems like Ubisoft, when they have like a new franchise, the first game always has like a great basis to it, but it stutters in certain areas. They seem to like to put the most non-charismatic characters in their first editions. I say that because I'm reminded a lot of the way that the Assassin's Creed franchise went, where you had Altair, who a lot of people didn't really care for, and then they followed him up with a more likable character in Ezio. And I hear it pretty much has gone the same way with the Watch Dogs franchise, whereas Aiden Pierce was his name. I almost forgot his name. You know, nobody really cared for him. He was kind of a blah protagonist, but I'm not sure what the new character's name is, but people seem to like him. And you kind of see, like, now with this third one, where they're taking a bit of a different direction. They're trying to flesh out each personality that they have. Like, everybody, like, wow. Well, let's start from the beginning. So basically, Legion, the concept behind it is you're a part of DedSec, and you're in a sort of heading to a full dystopic London, where a group called Albion has taken over, running the city. They use technology, like a lot of drones and things like that, and technology to control the city, and basically, I guess, oppress the people, so to speak. And you're a part of DedSec, who you're against this agenda. DedSec has been a prevailing group through all three, kind of, again, harking back to Assassin's Creed, where, you know, the assassins and versus the Templar were always, you know, a big thing. And looking from some of the clips in this, you see the name SATA, which is like the overarching technology that is used to surveil the city in which DedSec hacks into, because that's the company, I believe, is it called them Albion? I think I said it already, but that's what they use. And, you know, you tap into SATA, which is now global. I think it was just from Chicago to like spreading across the United States, and now it's everywhere, and it's, you know, the big threat in this world. So you're now just random members of DedSec. You are able to recruit NPCs for their skills, to help you along in your endeavors of resisting this company. It's funny because the gameplay trailer like has some interesting characters. Like, you kind of start off as a, you know, what seems like a British badass kind of guy, and he gets killed, and they transfer you over to an old woman, which I like that. Like, you're not just beholden to certain archetypes as far as like characters. She moves around like an old lady. It's not like she's like some swift-footed, you know, grandma assassin. I believe they said she was a former police engineer, so, you know, she does have some training, some weapons skills and all that, but she doesn't just move around and just like beats the shit out of people. Like, it's funny because they actually did show her kick some dude in the nuts and then tase him, which I thought was funny. But yeah, her combat style isn't like as aggressive as the first guy that they had with. And then they switched over to a trained assassin, and she finished out this mission, which the whole overarching mission was you were trying to recruit a robot drone hacker to help you in the fight, since all these robot drones have the city on lockdown. And people seem to die during, because I remember seeing a flash up during your gameplay as this assassin, where somebody had died, or maybe they were calling back. I forget what it was, but you could also converse with other team members as well. You have a little AI companion. I forget his name. Bagley, I think was his name. That is around that's like advising you and things like that and helping you along. Although it could be a human, they never really said. Because I remember the old lady made a joke about all things die, including you, Bagley. So I don't know if it's AI or if it's a person that just uses the code name, but you got the typical Watchdogs elements where you can control anything that is connected to the network. So you can use your phone to like tag into lights, different mechanical equipment and things like that, set off electrical panels, things like that. Don't seem to have any type of control over the robots, so they must be on a separate network. I don't know. I'm sure they'll explain why you. And this is probably why you needed to go after this drone dude, because you don't have the technology at the point of this game. And I'm looking at it now to see, and Bagley is AI, by the way, but it seems like it's gonna be kind of cool, because I like the RPG element of with the recruitment thing. I feel like it gives us a very like RPG-ish vibe, because you're getting, so to speak, classes in a way. Like, not everybody is able to facilitate one thing. There doesn't seem to be, I guess there are overarching types, because it seems like everybody has some level of combat training that you are running into. At the same time, there's certain skills that you're going to need, like this robot guy. Certain things that people aren't like as adapt to, from what I'm gathering from the gameplay and all that. So that makes it pretty damn interesting that you can develop this team where you just have like a bunch of random experts and you can send them off on specific missions, instead of just having this like I do it all type thing. Like, I think one of the things that people joked about with Watchdogs 2 was that this young kid who was a hacker was somehow really, really good at stealth and really good at weapons. Even though you can go through the game non-violently, he had no problem picking up a gun and murdering people. Whereas here, it seems like at least these people are going to have a reason to have all this. Like, I have to play 2. If you guys know, like, were you trained in combat in 2 or something like that? Because that would make sense. But it makes more sense to me in this, because you have a whole group of different people with skill sets, and of course those who lack in certain areas probably can get taught like basic combat skills for survival, because you're a whole group. It's not not just a handful of people with one person going out and doing all the missions. Everybody seems involved in like out in the field, so you would think that they would start having a lot of field training. Whereas again, with Watchdogs 2, it seems like you're just the one character, or like the first Watchdog, you just happen to be this unique guy who was a hacker and is also happened to be well trained in combative skills. So I like this. I hope that they kind of lean into, like, with the robot guy that you got, he doesn't seem like he's a fighter at all. So I hope they lean into the fact that he's a hacker, and we could teach him some things, but at the end of the day, this isn't the guy that you want to get mixed up in some shit. You know what I mean? So you want to be careful with when you're him engaging in combat, or like you have the assassin. Like, yeah, she's an assassin. She knows the basics of how to connect with people and things like that. But she shouldn't be super like skilled in the hacking elements of things. It's like, yo, you send her out for infiltration. You teach her how to use technology to infiltrate. But at the end of the day, her biggest asset is like, yo, she can whip ass and she can take out people. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, they did a trailer. In the trailer, they showed different characters. They showed one guy, he was like bare knuckle brawler. It's like, okay, that's cool. So you send him out for the rough and tumble stuff, like when you got to get close and personal. But he shouldn't be a uber hacker. You know what I mean? Because that's not what his background is. They had like a retired assassin in the trailer, another old lady. It's like, okay, cool. She's good at killing people, but they showed her moving around pretty slow and kind of like using her age to her advantage to fool people and to lulling them into a false sense of security kind of thing. Yeah, that should be it. Like, she shouldn't be like the equivalent of Peppermint at her age, you know? So things like that. Like, I hope they stick to nuances like that and they don't go too far. Like, of course, being a video game, there are gonna be some bullshit moments, of course, because you can't necessarily always keep it down the line and tight, so to speak, in that aspect. But at least play on that where you have the weaknesses and strengths kind of show a little better. That would be cool. That would be cool. And again, it would add to the RPG element that it seems to be going for. So yeah, can't wait to see more. I believe they said March 6th, 2020 is when it's coming out. So definitely looking forward to seeing more of this. Hopefully it comes together in the way that I would like to see it come together. Alright, y'all. So, as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Magus and I'm out. Deuces.